on to the Smart Property Investment Show with your host, Phil Tarrant.
Hi, good everyone. It's Phil Tarrant here. I'm the host of the Smart Property Investment Show. Thanks for joining us today. I have a couple in the studio who I feel are going to have a bit of fun. It's gearing up towards Christmas, and I know a lot of people are starting to think about what the year ahead's going to have and reflecting on the year past. And our guests today have been in the game for a little while, but I think they're looking to grow and evolve. Background to the chat, we received an email to editor@smartpropertyinvestment.com.au. So we do answer. Email us. We can get you on the show. It's all really good. But I'm going to read you the email that we received from these guys prior to introducing them, just to let you know what they said. It says, I've been listening to your podcast, usually twice a week, so thank you, since the start of the year. I found them so helpful, and your show has helped me to find a good buyer's agent and accountant. My wife and I have our principal place of residence, which is in Ingleburn, which is southwest Sydney near Campbelltown, and we recently purchased an investment property near Brisbane. We have owned property previously, but we didn't really know what we were doing when we were younger. We represent investors who didn't particularly start that early. We made a few mistakes, got out of the market and come back in again. Through your podcast and others, the Property Couch and Investing Insights of the Right Property Group, I've gained a lot more knowledge, and we are building a good team of professionals to help us acquire more properties in the future. My wife and I would like to be on the show to share your story. Okay, you're here. Simon and Vanessa Refalo. How are you going?
Well, thank you for having us.
You do respond, actually.
We do respond. We love stories.
I think you call like the next day.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
I was impressed.
Well, I'll pass that feedback to the team. That's good to know they're getting back to people so quickly. So thanks for coming on. It's cool.
You.
We love investor stories.
Thanks for having us.
Why would you like to share your story, Simon?
I think we're just ordinary people. I think sometimes when you think of investors, property investors, you think of these gurus, and there probably are gurus out there, but we're just like ordinary Australians. We have jobs. Like, I'm not a full-time investor at all. Getting my head around being called a property investor is still, strange for me. I think everyone has a story, and I know your show. I love listening to stories. I love listening to, couples or individuals who have a story, and I always learn from those stories more than probably the experts that talk about lots of properties that they own. I thought, we've got something to share, I suppose.
So, Simon, is yours a good story or a bad story?
I
think... It's a never-ending story.
It's a complex narrative.
It's a complex narrative. There we go.
Well, let's hope it ends well, this story. I suppose, we've journeyed, we've been married for 25 years, so we've got a bit of life, and we'll see how the story ends. We'll see how it sounds.
Who instigated the idea of writing in to us and coming on the show?
It was actually me. My wife didn't even know.
I was a little surprised.
So
did you have this surprise.
You go, we're going on a date night tonight.
It did spring it on me fairly recently, but that's all right.
That's cool.
We're up for that. That's fine.
So who's the most passionate property person out of you two?
Well, it's changed over time.
Okay.
Initially, it was me. I was really keen. We were reflecting on this in preparation for the show, and I think it all started with Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Okay.
Robert Kiyosaki.
Yep.
And the idea of changing your mindset really resonated with me and Simon and quite a few of our friends, and so that's where the journey started. And so I was the one who was the driving force probably 20 years ago now. We had some success, and then we got out of the game, and things have kind of been it's been a bit of a sleeper. And I think just more recently we realised we've hit our 40s and just preparing for the future, and that's where Simon comes in.
Was this like a light bulb moment for you both, or one of you, or combined, where you went, we're getting a bit old. I'm about the same age as you guys, and just going, you're not old yet, but you still got.
And I'm good with that.
30 years of work left in you, right? If you really want it.
Yes.
But you go, shit, we better start thinking about this. Did that happen?
Yes.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Was there a catalyst for that? Was there a life event or something that made you just go, shit? Sorry about swearing, but
oh, good. Out from the West, we're good. It's probably just more realising our days in work. We could see that there is an end in sight, and I don't like the idea of having to have a very limited income and restricting us in regards to life choices after work. Yeah, and I love the idea of making a generational change, and I think that window is fast closing for us, because as we've discovered along the way, it's not property is not a quick buck, and so we need to project quite a distance into the future, and so funnily enough, it feels very critical now.
So, but it's critical in a good way, as in you do have time on your side, but you've made the proactive step to say, hang on a second, we need to start thinking about this. And
glad that we've made the mistakes and experienced what we've experienced along the way, because it connects really consistently with what we're hearing on your podcast, what we're reading about. It's a very similar idea about property as a long-term investment.
Yeah, it was time in the market, not timing
the
market. So,
yes,
if you guys start investing at your 40 and you work until 70, you can get 2 and a bit, maybe 3 market cycles in that period of time, and they reckon that property, depending who you talk to and what you read, doubles in value every 8 to 12 years. So, if you can get 3 goes at that, you buy a property today, it's going to be 6 times the value in 3 markets time. So,
yes,
it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, but always hindsight, you wish you were doing it. Wish you were smarter when you were 10 years younger.
First property.
So you said that you got out of the game. So you were investing there for a little while, were you?
We bought our first property, which was Vanessa's
my mum and dad's
home.
Home.
So we kicked them out. They bought another house and we bought their
That was
property.
all right. They
Did you get a good
moved
price?
somewhere better.
Yeah, 140 in Green Valley area.
Yeah.
Just a ex-housing commission
Cool.
house.
When was that? A little while ago.
99.
Yeah.
Yeah, we think so.
Yeah, about
We were
99.
trying to remember.
99.
Yeah, so that was our first house that we bought.
Okay.
Which I do recall was a very nerve-wracking moment.
Yeah.
So you bought that to live in it? That
That's
was your
right.
principal place of residence?
Yes, that's right. To live in
To
it,
have
yeah.
our mortgage was a significant step, for me at least. Yeah.
We were young, we didn't earn a lot, and it was a big jump.
Well, it was housing commission. It was my mum and dad's housing commission home. They'd purchased it. There was a particular program the government about buying. I can't recall what it was called at the time. Where they could buy it. So they did.
A lot of people did do that. My grandmother lived in a housing commission home in Yagoona, and they ended up buying it.
Yeah.
So, it's quite an incentive for people
Yeah.
way back then.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah. So for many years they'd rented. So that was something I was used to. Yeah, just having a mortgage was a big deal back then. Glad we made the step though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you lived in there for a little while?
Yeah, so we lived in there for about 5 years.
Yes.
And the property pretty much doubled.
Yes.
And then my wife, we had this idea of going into business.
Okay.
So we saw that equity build.
We saw the equity
potential,
build.
yeah.
And back then we didn't think, well, let's invest in another property. Let's do a business and sell our house.
So you sold the house,
We
got the
actually
money,
sold
paid off the
our
debt,
house.
and started
Had
the
lots of fun
business.
for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went into the coffee cart business.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually
Yeah.
did coffee.
How'd that go? Was this like 2000 and...
This was now 2004.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It was fun.
it was fun. It was fun.
We took a risk.
They were horrible business people, but it was fun.
But it was fun. It was an adventure.
Make a lot of coffees, did you?
We had a few coffees.
Yep.
Yeah. But then, so we had the business for about a year, and then realised it's not our thing.
We actually had discussed earlier that we were going to make sure that we had a buffer, that we wouldn't go below a certain amount in our savings account so we could get back into property. I think we had discussed that with somebody earlier on, and we hit that buffer and had to make the difficult decision, and went back to look at purchasing, and I think we came across an investment group.
Yeah. So we're trying to remember this. I think it was.
The fact you're using the term investment group says to me that you probably didn't have a great experience.
Well, yeah. I mean,
No, it was not a
Let's
bad.
not name names.
no,
but,
we can't even
It was-
remember. We can't
It was
even
actually
remember.
not so bad in
Wasn't
that.
so bad.
So we bought in Perth.
Okay.
It was on the increase, on the rise at the time, but it hadn't peaked. The funny story is when we bought that property, so we didn't go over and see it. At the time we couldn't afford to do that, or at least that was our perception then. Different now. We bought the property. The people that were renting, great. That was a great experience. They were on time. But then we discovered we could not cope with the heavily negatively geared aspect of it. We were quite low income earners at the time, and it was just a real struggle
hurting.
every single week to try to come up with that money. I think it was negatively geared by about $250 a week would have worked out.
Okay, like $1,000 a month.
That was a lot for us.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of fun. Anyone's fine.
And so it came to the realisation, look, it's grown a little bit. We might make a little bit back on it, so we can't sustain this, so let's get rid of it.
Sold it. Where was it? Where was the place?
It's in Falcon.
Falcon.
It was kind of a newer suburb at the time.
Yeah, and then so we put it on the market, and then as bad luck would have it, the couple had to move back to the UK, and then that meant we had the property on the market and no one in
tenant.
the property.
Yeah.
That was a real struggle. I think it took us about 2 months to sell the place.
Really?
That was
So you had to
refined by
carry
fire.
the mortgage the whole time.
Carry the mortgage with no tenant.
How'd you guys, I imagine it was financially quite stressful. What'd you do? Just stop spending, or did you tighten your belt? Or
I can't remember. And it was around Christmas, wasn't it?
It was.
It was around Christmas.
Yep.
It was quite
it's
stressful.
always hard to sort of sell around that time.
Look, I guess we thought we will make a little bit on it, so we just held our breath and waited for it.
So you sold it?
We sold it.
And did you clear the mortgage out and make a few bucks as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we bought it for $295 or something like that, and sold it for $350
Okay.
in 6 months.
Okay.
In real terms, that was about a $12,000 after the mortgage and all the expenses.
You made
$13,000 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, in written, after all the expenses.
Emotionally, was it worth making $12,000 doing that in terms of the stress?
Not for those 2 months we were putting on the market.
It's a lot of people sometimes they always think about the dollars, but you got to think about your happiness as well, right?
Definitely.
It's so important. So important.
I mean, we're people of faith, and I guess that time it helped us to just rely on that and trust it's going to be okay. We're going to be fine. We'll get through it. So
And you got through it, which is cool.
we did.
Yeah.
So that was you out of the market again?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were out of the market, and then so we rented for a while. I can't remember the time frame, and then we wanted to buy again, another place to live in. We could only afford a duplex at that time, so we bought in Bonnyrigg.
Okay.
Bonnyrigg Heights.
It's a real place.
Yeah.
Bonnyrigg Heights near Fairfield, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. So we paid $305, and we stayed in that house for 5 years.
Okay. And this is 2005-ish, is it? 2006?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
right. Yeah. And then it was a strata, so it was a small set of duplexes.
townhouses, yeah.
Yeah.
There's 10 altogether.
Yeah.
So triplex and duplexes, tri-level townhouses.
Okay.
Yeah. But we were having horrible issues with our strata. Strata was poorly run.
Yep.
And we were thinking, okay, we want to buy a house. We've got kids, and the strata was shocking, and we knew we better get out now before. And I think there was some structural stuff in the house that because
so we were on a hill.
The sinking fund. I don't think
Sinking,
it was
literally.
sinking. I don't think it was.
Literally, yeah.
I don't think it was anything happening. And we thought we better have an exit strategy. So we sold it after
you did all
5
right out of
years. So I think we sold it. We bought it for $305. I think we sold it for $335.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that was...
we took a bit of a hit.
That
We
should have
were-
gone up a
we-
lot more during that period of time.
We should have, market value was about 370, 380. However, because of the strata issues, and every time we'd have a buyer,
They'd have
when
a
they
look
delve
and
into the
They
issues.
checked out.
Yeah, so
cooling
that
off
was
and thought,
pretty
nah.
disappointing.
Yeah. So
Yep.
that was one of those things I thought, I'm not doing strata again. I don't like it.
So
Yeah, I'm not
you sold
keen.
the place in Bonnyrigg Heights.
Yep.
And what happened then?
So, we actually bought Ingleburn.
Okay.
So
that's your principal place of
we
residence.
That's
are
right.
now.
That's
Yes.
right.
A
Yeah.
house.
That's right. A
On
house.
a block, no strata.
A real one.
Yeah,
Yep.
our own
Okay,
place.
good.
We got friends who live in Ingleburn. My wife was going, we've got to go to Ingleburn. It's near train lines.
Yep.
You can get access to the city, plenty of land. It's bigger blocks. And so she convinced me.
Sorry, just on the record, it took about 10 years to convince me
convince-
about
Oh,
Ingleburn.
Ingleburn is a great space.
It's a really good.
Lovely,
When
quiet
did you buy in Ingleburn?
We bought in Ingleburn 2013.
Okay. I reckon you done well out of that.
We did well out of
Yeah.
that. So
Very
it's
happy.
It's a 900 square. It's got a granny flat in there, so that's been tenanted out.
So you live there, but you put a granny flat on?
No, the granny flat was already there.
Was already
Okay, so
there.
that's tenanted separately.
Yep.
Okay.
Which
To
was
help
part
pay
of
the
the
mortgage.
We had a
Yeah.
list of all the things we wanted,
Yeah, and we wanted a
and
granny
that was
flat.
a big thing
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of it was income stream, and on and off for our children who were approaching adulthood
Yep.
at the time.
Yeah. So our daughter lives in there now.
Oh, does she?
With her
Charge
husband.
rent?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course we do.
Is it market or you?
Or probably
No.
a little bit below.
No, they get a pretty good deal.
Yeah, but she's moving out soon, so
It
we'll
contributes
bump
to the mortgage, right?
it
Which
does.
is good.
It's actually
Yeah.
it's helpful.
Quite a big chunk.
It's
Yeah.
it's quite nice.
Yeah.
So we love Ingleburn, and it got rezoned recently.
Ah,
so we're
okay.
in high medium.
That's
Densities,
handy again.
yep.
as well.
Really handy.
On a 900 square metre
Yeah.
block.
Yeah.
What sort of place is it? A brick place or is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
brick veneer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 3-bedder, 4-bedder, or something like that. 3-bedder with study, like an older house. It's in a really quiet
bit
street.
50 years old.
It's established street.
So essentially, if you wanted to, you can knock it down and probably stick some townhouses
We
on it at some
could.
point, or someone will buy it and do that.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
fact that you got the zoning is a good thing.
I think we're going to
Yeah.
hold on to it
So
and see what happens.
Yeah.
Definitely, we're not letting this one go.
No,
Very,
hold
very
on.
shortly, though, I guess for me, I'm a bit more anxious than Simon is about it, in that I'd like to have a conversation with our neighbours about what they want to do with the space, because within the same block, there's already a couple of properties cleared for some medium density housing, which is
unit.
facing is facing the main road. So whilst it might be a few years away, I'd like to at least get a heads up on.
A lot of people
What
these
might
days
work.
are clubbing together with neighbours and selling them as huge development blocks. If it's zoned, how far from the train station are you?
Oh,
7-minute walk.
7-minute walk.
Okay. Yeah. You never know what happens. Just
Just keep our options.
keep your options open.
Yeah.
She's more adventurous than me.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I love where we live. I
Yeah,
really do.
It is a really nice space.
But
Well,
don't want
it's
to
great.
miss
So close
out.
to like Campbelltown. Campbelltown's got everything. In terms of, and people talk a lot about these days about, you need to live within, 15 kilometres of CBD for stuff to be whatever. I did a podcast with Bernard Salt a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying the same logic holds true in satellite towns. Like, Campbelltown is a big local government area which has its own industry and all that sort of stuff. And Ingleburn is a suburb of Campbelltown. How long does it take you to get into Campbelltown from Ingleburn? Like
15 minutes.
15 minutes Campbelltown, 15 minutes to Liverpool.
Yeah, and Liverpool, we're kind of smack bang.
And we've
got
in the
quite
middle,
a-
going crazy too.
Then the village of Ingleburn has quite a lot of everything we need there. Don't really have to go very far.
self-contained, everything's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
You've got
it's
sports,
lovely,
you've got everything.
quiet enough.
Yeah.
So you've held on to your Ingleburn property,
Yes.
900 square metres of granny flat, helps with the income. Good. And
been
you
at-
bought an investment property.
That's right.
Yes.
So
Okay.
we bought in
Finally did it.
Waterford West in Brisbane.
Yep.
So at the end of last year, so we've had our Ingleburn place. I was starting to take the lead a bit more. I said we've got to get back into investing. So my brother-in-law's in real estate, and he was showing us some podcast or videos of another buyer's agent, and I've never really heard that term, buyer's agent. That was quite foreign to me. And so we're just watching this guy, and he's acquired all these. I'm not going to name the name because we didn't go with them, but we're watching this guy, and I'm thinking, wow. So we actually went to one of their information nights. I think we paid a bit of a fee.
Sorry, can I just fill in a bit of the
Sure.
backstory? So, so with our careers as they are, I just felt like I could not focus on property. So when we discussed everything, I said, well, it's all yours.
Yeah.
So you go with it. So, which has been
It's
fun.
irrelevant, but what do you guys do for a living?
So I'm an English teacher.
Okay.
Yep.
So secondary school
Yes.
in the Campbelltown area somewhere.
Can I name
Sure, yeah.
Campbelltown Performing Arts High School?
Okay.
Yeah,
Shout out.
yeah, great place.
Teachers are cool. You guys do a great job.
Love the job.
Yeah,
Love
you
it.
guys do a great job. And
Yeah.
I'm a social worker.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And you work with kids or adults or
both young people and families.
Okay.
Yeah. So love
it's
it.
a commendable profession.
It's full on, but I really enjoy it.
I imagine you're good with it. You've got a really nice temperament. I could see that people
He
like
does.
talking to you. So
Yeah, I do. The conversations I had, yes.
anyway, off topic. So you're the guy so you're teaching, and so
Yeah.
you've gone all right.
I think Vanessa works probably harder than me. So just the
I'm
hours.
very passionate about it though. It's okay.
Just the hours teachers do. I knew she couldn't do it, and I thought, well, let's take a plunge. So Yeah, so through going to learning about these buyer's agents, I thought, okay, there's got to be more to this. So we didn't sign up with that particular buyer's agent, but we
I think it was just philosophically, it wasn't exactly where we wanted to be.
Yeah, I think he was quite aggressive in his approach. I'm thinking, I don't want to earn 40 properties and have this big
We're just
portfolio.
we weren't ready for that explosion.
Yeah, it felt like an
seemed to be.
explosion. So, but through that, somehow we discovered podcasting and your show popped up.
Cool.
I don't know where, it just somehow
happened.
on the radar it
was a
popped
good
up.
find.
It was a good find. And then through your show, we actually, I think you interviewed Rich Harvey.
Okay, I use Rich to you.
We used
there
Rich.
you go.
Yeah, so Rich
Nice
got us
bloke.
our Brisbane
Yeah,
property.
Rich is cool. He does a great job. He's been in the market for a long time, Rich. He actually's got the URL propertybuyer.com. Property buyer. Propertybuyer.com.
Yeah,
to you.
Property buyer.
So he knows his onions, Rich. So.
Yeah. So when you've interviewed a few buyers agents, and I'm going to check this guy out. I liked him.
Cool.
I think philosophically he kind of fit for us.
He fit for us. He was kind of, I don't know, he wasn't massively aggressive. He just fit kind of where we're at. And so we used him. Okay. And then I realized, okay, I need a team, because you're always talking about having a team, like buyer's agent, accountant,
Brokers.
broker. So we got the broker helped us. He was really good. He was really good. And we've recently I caught up with Munzerl.
Oh.
So because we had another accountant
Yeah.
and we weren't happy with that accountant. I thought, well, you know what? I've heard him on the podcast and I like him, and obviously you rate him. And I thought,
Munzerl's good. There you go, Munzerl.
Yeah, there you go. Cash for comment.
Oh, no.
Munzerl's cool, right? He's a good accountant. He's my accountant, and I'm not going to give you a plug, Munzerl. But what anyone should be looking for an accountant is someone who knows property, and there's some really good accountants out there that do it, it's cool. You've connected.
We've just started working.
There you
with
go.
it. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah,
we'll see how we go.
It's funny. It's just so our listeners know, it's completely unscripted. This, and you guys.
Absolutely.
Testament to it. I don't know these things. I'll find out myself on it.
Yeah, you can see the surprised look on your face.
Which is quite funny. Which is cool. But both Rich and Munzer all, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
We're fortunate as property investors that there's some really capable and talented professionals out there that can help us do what we need to do. So go and find the one that's right for you.
Yeah. And it took a little bit of, we didn't go with that first buyer's agent and just didn't feel right. And it took a little while to start working with Rich.
You got to be comfortable, right? It's
exactly.
quite a personal relationship,
yes.
and you're a counsellor for a living, or a social worker for a living, and you got to trust the person before you can actually influence them to make a decision that they need to be able to make themselves.
Definitely.
And the best professionals in the marketplace are able to chat with you and give you the information that you need in order to make a decision, a step forward to do something that they need to do. So you got to be comfortable.
Definitely.
So,
I value relationships, like in business or whatever. They're important to us. So.
Absolutely.
And those guys.
There we go. So you guys, so you've bought one property.
So we're about to buy. We're looking at buying another one.
Okay.
Probably March next year. Start looking around again.
So
we have a bit of a plan.
We were umming and ahhing about when to do that.
Yeah, and everyone's.
Initially, we were going to wait for probably a year.
Just to see our first property, see how
is that just your appetite for risk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We can afford.
There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. You got to do stuff at your own pace.
And actually, Rich and his guys there, his team, they've been great in that, just letting us travel along the idea of where we are comfortable. But because of that, I guess, not necessarily coaching through, but giving us some space. So they gave us some time. They've done a couple of calls with us about where we're at. And so now we've decided we're probably ready to move a bit quicker than we thought we were.
Yeah.
Go at your own pace.
Yeah.
Make decisions you need to make. Don't be rushed. If anyone tells you to hurry up, they're not the right person for you.
No.
Yeah. So it seems to be a pretty consistent message with, even when Munzerl, he said, you buy when you want to buy.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, everyone seems to be saying it. So.
But you've got a bit of scar tissue as well, because you've gone down a path of knowing what it's like to be holding properties which are it's okay to have negatively geared properties if you know why you're holding negatively geared properties.
Yep.
And you've got to be comfortable with the level of negative gearing on it. You know, you're trying to find $1,000 a month. There's a lot of money to find. So you got to find the right properties that fit within your portfolio to do what you want to do. And you obviously know what you want to do. Have you guys got a number? Like, you know, you're obviously investing in property now to provide for life after work.
A number of properties?
No, a number that you would like when you choose to stop working, that you'd like to be getting as a passive income.
I think the 100K is kind of one of the figures.
Okay.
And that's one of them. And then we've then gone, okay, so what do we need in property for that to happen?
Yeah.
So they're talking
So I think
about,
they said something like 2.2 unencumbered.
Yeah, 2.2 million.
I'm sure Mum will help you work out what that number is.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting because Rich said around 8 properties and then sell down 4 and have 4 unencumbered. We'll give you that.
Which seems to be
Munjal was saying
consistent.
about 5 to 6. And I thought, I actually like that because I don't want to have heaps of them. But
the good thing is that you know 90% of winning is beginning. You know, whatever cliche you want, right? You know, you started now. Your goals today probably won't be the same goals you're going to have in 5 and 10 years' time. Yeah. You know, as your experience grows and you get more confidence and you actually get what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, you might become more ambitious and you might change those goals and work out what you can do to actually realise them. So I'm really happy with you guys. You know, it's a good story, a bit sort of stop-start, but now it sounds like you've started again. And
and I think we got the right advice this time round in that we're very comfortable with the purchase in, where is it?
Brisbane, Waterford West.
Waterford.
Yep.
I know it's the water something.
Yeah.
You know, we're comfortable with that and we're able to maintain it and stay in the market, whereas previously we weren't able to maintain it.
Well, this is it. You don't want to be selling your properties. You know, one of the reasons why I've been good at investing in property, because often the properties that I secure are people who need to sell it for a reason, and therefore you get under market value. Right? You don't want to be that person that's selling it under market value because you're under financial stress or there's some other situation. So, you know, work within your own parameters and know what they are and be comfortable and confident with it. But okay. March next year, you reckon?
Well, we've thrown it out there now.
Well, you set yourself a goal. It's on air.
True. It's on
Australia's property investors listening to us. So
all right.
Let's see what happens. Let's bring you back in 6 months' time and I'm going to hold you guys accountable.
Okay.
And you might come in and go, you know what, Phil, we didn't get one, we got 2. Or you go, no, we didn't do anything because this happened.
We ended up with 5.
It's you know, well, it sounds like you got the right people on your side to help give you some counsel as you go and do it. But that said, you know, the decision is yours. You can't outsource responsibility of your investing to other people. Good advisors will equip you with the knowledge you need to have in order to make decisions you need to make. But cool.
Nice.
Did you enjoy it? Is that
lovely?
Fun? Yeah, good.
Easy.
Do you think you guys are good podcast guests?
Oh, well,
I have no idea.
I don't know.
You tell us.
You've done them more than us.
Oh, no. I really enjoy these type of chats. You know, it's obviously we have different sort of people on the show. Some of them are sort of hot shot.
Yeah.
Young people who are looking to make $1 bazillion out of property, and then we get a lot of experts on the show who do it for a living, and they give us plenty of knowledge and advice. But you know, to bookend our chat, you said that you're just normal people, but most property investors are just normal people.
Yeah.
You know, people who are taking an action to look at building wealth, so it gives them choice. You know, as they get older and generationally as well.
Yeah.
You know. And I think that's great. So you guys are you guys are represent property investors across Australia.
Yeah.
Most investors are like you guys, you know, like me, who just getting stuff done and knowing why we're doing it and trying to have fun in the process.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
you know?
we part of the reason we went with Rich was because we love our jobs. We're really passionate about what we do. We're actually not passionate about investing. We love what it can offer us. I mean, like you said, choice about our future. So that's a little bit different to some, but definitely
I do.
great.
But now doing it, I am really passionate about investing.
Okay.
So I've got more time to be passionate about investing. I do really enjoy it.
Nothing wrong with being passionate. Make passion your paycheck.
Yeah.
I stole that. There's a guy called Tom Panels that says that.
It's that too. It is. It is good.
It's good. Thanks, guys. So 6 months' time.
Thank you.
Get you back in.
Okay.
See what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So invest it. Cool.
Yeah.
Good. All right. And you recommend writing into us and coming on the show?
Absolutely.
You guys,
Yeah.
quick turnaround.
Yeah.
No, actually, 8:30 in the morning, my phone went off.
There you go.
And I was like, whoa. And I didn't recognize the number. And
Sweet.
There you go.
Okay. Editor at smartpropertyinvestment.com.au.
It works.
It works.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah, it was fun.
Come and have a bit of fun. It's good.
Yeah.
Remember to check out smartpropertyinvestment.com.au. If you're not yet subscribing to our daily news and market intelligence, make sure you're one of the first to know what's going on in property in Australia. smartpropertyinvestment.com.au/subscribe. If you're a social media type of person and that's how you want to get your information, just search Smart Property HQ. Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. You'll track us down. Remember those 5-star reviews on iTunes. Please keep them coming. The team love them. We'll be back again next time. Until then, bye-bye.
The information featured in this podcast is general in nature and does not take into consideration your financial situation or individual needs and should not be relied upon. Before making any investment, insurance, tax, property or financial planning decision, you should consult a licensed professional who can advise whether your decision is appropriate for you. Guests appearing on this podcast may have a commercial relationship with the companies mentioned.